Rugby League.
Names like Jim Cassidy and Neil Williams. But the man to tell us all about how it has happened over the past few days and what's going to happen today at Fanny Bay is Matt Browning on his first trip to Darwin. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hilton, I'm very well, thank you for that, and good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our live coverage of Carlton Darwin Cup Day 1998 at the Fanny Bay Racecourse. Lovely conditions, a little bit overcast, but there's certainly no threat of rain. They tell me it just doesn't rain in the Northern Territory up on the top end at this time of year. The oil-based track officially rated as good. I've been looking forward to this for about 3 months since I first found out about the Darwin Cup trip some 3 months ago, and it's lived up to its reputation 100%. Hilton. It's a fantastic carnival. The amazing thing is it's been going for 6 weeks. We've arrived for the last 2 days of the carnival. Today is day 8 of the Darwin Turf Club's carnival, but it's been going for 6 weeks. So imagine how you'd be if you've had to cop the whole lot of it, because there are so many social activities here. It is, I must admit, a little bit hard to keep up with. They're very happy with the Cup field. They've got horses from all across Australia. Lee Friedman is bringing Dynamic Tycoon. He's already had 2 lead-up runs. The 3-year-old, or officially a 4-year-old, he turned 4 on Saturday. Peter Hayes has got a runner here, Yellow Limit, and just a very strong and even field. Touch of Fantasy, the mare from the Viv Oldfield stable, was very well fancied at the Calcutta yesterday afternoon. They're expecting a crowd here today of 23,000 people, and by the looks of them, the way they were streaming in when we arrived earlier this afternoon, it won't be a surprise if they get 23,000 people here this afternoon, and they'll love every bit of it too. They've got the tents out. The corporate marquees will be full within half an hour or so. We really are expecting a big day here at the Darwin Turf Club's main day of the year, Carlton Cup Day. Of course, as you mentioned, some of the big name jockeys here. Dwayne Dunn, the leading Adelaide rider. Jim Cassidy's been here for a couple of days, and Darren Gauchi's also made the trip. So it all makes for a fantastic day of racing. Lovely warm conditions as you'd expect up in the top end, and Hilton, we're looking forward to covering this meeting right through until the Darwin Cup, which will be run at 5:20 this afternoon my time, which is Central Time, and that equates to about 10 minutes to 6 Eastern Standard Time. So a bit of water to flow under the bridge between now and then, but some great racing, including the Ansett Invitation. And Hilton, we'll talk to you soon with the latest from Darwin.
Good to see we've both donned the Darwin Cup ties, Matt, and my tip to you to get a feed a bit later on. You can duck behind the grandstand and head down to the Red Rooster van at the top of the straight, because that's probably the best tip on course today in terms of the food, due to the big crowd there at Darwin. At the barrier for the second in Sydney, and let's have a look at the market. Hancock at $12.
And we're back live at the Fanny Bay Racecourse in Darwin with the first race here coming up in about 25 minutes' time. I'm joined now by the Chairman of Stewards, Lindsay Lane, who's more than likely got a busy day ahead of him. Lindsay, good to see you.
Thanks.
I see on the front page of the local paper today a crowd of 23,000 people is expected. Are you anticipating any problems in terms of crowd control and that sort of thing?
Oh no, Chubb Security look after the crowd control here, and they do a very good job, and yeah, certainly the way the crowd's building up now, it looks like being bigger than ever.
Lindsay, this carnival's been going for 6 weeks. I mean, I suppose it's okay for us to arrive on the last 2 days. We see Palmerston Sprint on Saturday and Cup Day today, but it's been going quite a while. Have things been busy in the stewards' room in the Carnival of 98?
Oh, not really. We've had a reasonable carnival actually. We've had 1 race fall only. We've suspended a couple of jockeys for careless riding, but we haven't had any major problems. It's been a pretty good carnival so far.
The field's been good, Lindsay?
Fields have perhaps been down a little bit on last year, but still pretty good, and the betting turnover's been very good, and the crowds have been pretty much up every day.
Lindsay, an interesting runner in the Cup this afternoon is Dynamic Tycoon from the Lee Friedman stable. He's had 2 starts here in Darwin already. He won the Guineas and also the Derby. Obviously, we haven't been able to see them. They haven't been Sky Channel races. Has he been impressive in your opinion?
Well, certainly I wouldn't have said he won the Derby overly impressively. It was not a great field, certainly not the calibre of the Darwin Cup. But he may well be a horse that only does as much as he has to win. And, of course, he's got the blinkers on today, so I would expect he'd probably race a little bit keener today.
How many boys are working on your panel?
We have a panel of 6 during the day, and they do various jobs around the course, assistant judging, that type of thing, and, yeah, they'll all be pretty busy. They'll sleep well tonight.
What about you personally, Lindsay? You've been up here in the top end for about 4 years since moving up from Melbourne. Are you enjoying it?
I love Darwin. The weather's good, the people are very good, and it's a very good lifestyle. Naturally enough, missed the spring carnival in Melbourne, but you can't have everything, can you?
That's right. Well, when you've got this, I don't think you've probably got too much to complain about. It's been fantastic these last 3 or 4 days. Thanks for dropping in and having a chat, and let us know if there's any news from the stewards room today.
Certainly will. Thanks, Matt.
Hilton, that's Lindsay Lane, the chairman of stewards, a former VRC gentleman, but now loving it up here in the top end.
And why wouldn't you, Matthew, given the weather conditions that Lindsay spoke of? Right, let's update the Sunshine Coast race number 2 and square up at 190.
Righto, Hilt, thanks for that. Some bad news this morning, unfortunately, for local jockey Paul Denton. He woke to find out that his mount in the Darwin Cup has been scratched. That was Seattle Hawk. Paul Denton's with me now. Paul, that's a bit of bad luck. You'll go around without a mount in the Cup today.
Yeah, it is very disappointing because the horse was going very well, and it was a very good chance today, but he's been... it wasn't too bad yesterday, but I trotted him around this morning and he was a bit lame, so we didn't want to take the chance with him.
Yeah, it was obviously a late decision because he was pretty well fancied at the Calcutta yesterday, so this morning they decided it would be best not to run him?
Yeah, he was very ordinary in his action, so I don't think it would have done justice to the punters or anyone else to run him.
It is a shame the owners have all come up, and I know they were planning to have a bit of a bet on him. Merriman in the first race today is your first mount. Runners are in the yard. What do you make of Merriman's chances in race 1?
Yeah, he'll go very well. He's had a couple of starts here. He's got a little bit tired, and he's a bit fitter now, and I think he'll be very hard to beat, but two will be hard as well.
Tide Embraces your mount in the second. The last start winner here at Darwin, a bit of a traveller this horse too, has come across from Townsville. Yeah,
he's raced very well. His 2 starts here. I rode him 2 starts ago and he ran home well in a 1300, and he was pretty impressive in the mile the other day, so the 1900 shouldn't worry him.
What about Keys Gesture? He's been thereabouts?
Yeah, he's a good place chance. A couple of win around the Palmerston, so he's a fresh horse, so hopefully he'll be able to win.
Bowline in the Schweppes Cup Day handicap?
He won his first day here, but he's been a little bit disappointing his last couple, but they're giving him a bit of a freshener up, so hopefully he'll improve today.
And what about in the invitation? You probably don't know much about your mount because you drew it at random. New signage, you would probably have to improve on that last start.
Yeah, well, he's only got over here about 3 days ago, so I don't know much about him. I just took him for a trot around this morning, so I'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, good luck today, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
That's Paul Denton, who'll be riding here at Darwin this afternoon. He's about to mount up in the first. Let's go to Moonee Valley for race 1. Here's Dan Malecki.
First of 9, and they're just about ready.
He is Jay Clifford at 140. Can Ace at 860. Philip Cole, the rider. Savage, number 5, with Les Beer at $12. And Sunset Walk, rider W. Kenning at 28. Selections 2, 1, 3 from Brian Blackmore in the first at Darwin. Now the jockeys mount up, and we'll be over to Darwin shortly. Let's go to Terralgan for the third, and here's Adam.
And they're getting ready.
Can Ace number 3 at $8.10, Savaged at 13, $32 for Sunset Walk. We'll look at the update for Randwick, then take you trackside to Darwin for the first. And they're in the mounting yard in Sydney. Updating Sydney, Seeing Stars at $2.90. Number 2, Exploding Success, $3.90. General Jackson, $7.30. 5 Star Century at $6.40. Number 8, Mono Bank at $22. Royal Benz, $5.50. And Kicker Man at $18. Selections are 2 to beat 1 from Terry Bailey. Will endeavour to chase a third selection. And Mixed Stumbles in the first goes 2, 1, 3. Sunshine Coast, race 2, 1 Square Up, 195 Queensland, 190 New South Wales, and 170 Super Tab. 2 Spy Mission second, 4 Paris Tango third. Trifectas 42.70, 33.90. New South Wales and Victoria $25.90. Well, these runners about to move up for the first at Fanny Bay, and it's my pleasure to take you to Mark Harrison. Mark Harrison from Victoria, given his opportunity to become a full-time race caller at Alice Springs, and he's made the journey to Darwin. Hello, Mark. How are you?
These runners are about to come up for the first, and the first one to go in was Can Ace. Now, the runners coming up for the first. Runners coming up for the first event of the afternoon. Savage is about to go up. Can Ace is in. Irish Symphony about to walk forward with Merry Man and Sunset Walk. And the runner's coming up well now. Gyro Symphony certainly does look very well in the yard. And Merry Man looks a little bit dry in the coat, the second pick. Irish Symphony, the favourite, coming up. Thanks, Cass. As 8TAB join us as Irish Symphony is about to walk forward. Irish Symphony coming up. Now Sunset Walk. And Merry Man will be the last pair to come up as Irish Symphony backs away at the last moment. Canace and Savage, they both stand up well. $1.64 Irish Symphony, $3.20 for Merry Man, 7 even Canace, $12 for Savage and $33 for Sunset Walk, the outsider of the field. Irish Symphony's dislodged the rider there, Jason Clifford. So Irish Symphony causing a few problems behind the line here. Now we just await on Irish Symphony, Merry Man, and also Sunset Walk to come up now that they're bringing Irish Symphony, the very short priced favourite, at $1.70 on Super Tab. In riderless, and he goes in this time. Irish Symphony is in. I thought he was in, but he's halfway there. Now he's all the way in as Jason Clifford about to remount the favourite. Sunset Walk comes up, and the last one to go in will be Merry Man, carrying the sponsors' logos, the TIO colours, as the starter mounts his platform for the first. And they're all in, ready. Field of 5, 1,030 metres for the TIO Class 4. There's the light. Ready now. Irish Symphony, the favourite. A little bit fidgety there in the middle gate. Ready. Canace stands well as to Savage. Attendant about to go into Irish Symphony's stall. Light still flashes away. And they're already racing this time. Sunset Walk a little bit slowly to begin on the outside. Merry Man began very quickly. Irish Symphony is being ridden out with the whip, and Canace is going up along the inside. Sunset Walk goes back to second, last a length away. Last of all is there as they settle down as Savage running along to the 750, and the leader is Merry Man, 3/4 in front of the favourite Irish Symphony, second the outside. A length and a half away, third on the inside is Canace. Then Sunset Walk, who's on its outside at the 550 and dropping right out of it as Savage. Running down the side of the course now, and Merry Man, the leader, a length in front of Irish Symphony. 2.5 away in the field, then to Sunset Walk, the outside there at Canace, and 6 away at the tail of the field as they come to the turn as Savage. 350 left to run, and Merry Man straightens up the leader, a length and a half in front, but here's Irish Symphony, the outside, the favourite, running home strongly. At the 200, they've dropped the rest off, headed up there by Canace in front, though it's Merry Man. Irish Symphony, the favourite, gets to it on the outside and is coming away. Irish Symphony at the 50's well clear, and he's going to win it, the first favourite home on Cup Day. Irish Symphony wins it by 4. Merry Man second. 4 away, third over the line was Canace, followed by Sunset Walk, and last of all was Savage.
Number 2, Irish Symphony, winning the first on Darwin Cup Day with a very strong finish, written by J. Clifford. Has paid $1.60, Super Tab $1.80, New South Wales, and $1.85 in Queensland. Runners about to move up in Sydney, $3.20, Seeing Stars number 1, exploding success after race 1 of the day, and here again is Matt Browning.
Well, we've just had the first race, so Cup Day 1998 is officially underway, and a man who's had quite a bit to do with not just promoting today, but promoting the whole 8 days of the carnival that have gone over the last 6 weeks is the Chief Executive of the Darwin Turf Club, Wayne Pollock. Wayne, thanks for having us here. It's certainly been a fun time over the last 4 days.
Yes, thank you, Matthew, and welcome to you, your first time in Darwin. I'm sure that you'll have an enjoyable day, and we hope that you do return, as many other Sky Channel presenters have.
Absolutely. That's the point that I was just going to make. When you run into people here, they seem to have, they seem to be regulars. John Russell's probably the best example, our former Melbourne race caller, 27 trips in a row to Darwin. So people come here, they enjoy the experience, they just keep coming back, don't they?
They do, and John, of course, has been a great ambassador for the Darwin Turf Club, bringing tours for 26 years, and I'm sure that he'll be bringing tours for another 10 years at least, and quite rightly so. We do look forward to many visitors from throughout Australia. We make a point of making them very welcome to make sure they do come back. The territory has got many marvellous scenes to have a look at, not just the racing, but also the many tourist activities that we can offer. And it's a great opportunity to come and see top racing during the Darwin Cup Carnival, and also the sights of the territory.
They're saying 23,000. Is that accurate? Will it get to 23, Wayne?
I'm quite sure that it will be more than 20,000 people. This year we're very fortunate that we've got the support of the government that have given a free bus service to all the public to come to the races today. That's very much appreciated. Of course, with the drink drive laws, many punters have taken the opportunity to come by bus, enjoy themselves for the day, and I'm sure that we'll get 20,000 plus without any shadow of doubt.
What is the record?
The record is about 21,000, and that was about 2 years ago. We've got many attractions today, of course. The first time for the territory, the big screen, and that's a great talking point up here in Darwin. It's the first time many locals have had an opportunity to have a look at the big screen. One thing that is very difficult in Darwin on Cup Day is to actually see the race because of all the marquees and all the umbrellas and all the other fixtures in place. And it really does give everybody a chance to see all the action.
What time did they start rolling in? Was it an early start for some of them, Wayne?
It was an early start. The first ones came in at 8 o'clock, and by 10:30 we had a couple of thousand people here at 10:30. We no doubt accommodated them as far as bars and food went, and there's no doubt we'll get 20,000 plus.
And more importantly, what time are you expecting to get them out tonight?
Yes, we make a point of total entertainment on Cup Day. The race is the big race, the Carlton Darwin Cup, of course, at 5:20. We do have a band playing from 6 o'clock on through to 9 o'clock, and traditionally we do have about 3,000 or 4,000 people that stay through to 9 o'clock. By the time they filter out, it will be 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Again, thanks for having us here. Maybe come over a little bit later this afternoon and give us a bit of a report on how the day's gone in terms of turnover, and we'll find out if we reach that crowd figure. But again, thanks for having us here. It's just been a great 4 or 5 days.
Thanks you, Matthew.
All the best to Wayne Pollock, who's the Chief Executive of the Darwin Turf Club. It's already been one of their most successful carnivals, and if we can get those big crowds and that big turnover this afternoon, well, Cup Day will also go down as one of the best on record. And just before we hand things back, Hilton, all of the visiting race callers here today, Darren McCauley, Kim Stewart, Brian Blackmore, Mick Stumbles, Mark Harrison, all just wanted to send their very best regards to Terry Bailey, who's calling his first full meeting today as the replacement Metropolitan caller in Sydney for John Tapp. Mick Stumbles came down and said to me earlier, could I put a bit of a cheery over to Terry? He'll be in the broadcast box at Randwick. Terry, all the best wishes from everyone here at Darwin, and good calling today at Royal Randwick this afternoon. Hilton, back to you.
Good on you, Matt. What happened to the hat, mate? You've had to sell it already.
I've given the hat a bit of a break. You wouldn't believe it, a light breeze has actually picked up, so if I didn't just put down the hat and give it a bit of a spell, it could end up out in Fanny Bay.
A long way from the racetrack, Matt. I'm sure it's not gale force, but it's very good to see you trackside at Darwin today. Now, the totes on the first, 160 for Irish Symphony, number 2 on Super Tab, 180 New South Wales, 185 in Queensland. Beat 1 Merriman and 3 Canace. Trifecta's Skinny, $4, $4.80 and $5. Third, Sunshine Coast, strikes twice at $4.35. Number 4, 10 Dragnet, is Ms. L. Murray. Ms. L. Murray on Dragnet. The other ones you might need there. Wayne Trelaw rides number 5, Nicky Boy. Les Beers on 12, Arrogant Gent. And W. Kenning rides 13, Snappin' Salieri. We'll be back with David Fowler.
Righto, Hilt, thanks for that. We've had the first race and the second's not too far away. The first was the TIO Class 4 Handicap. If you're wondering who the people behind TIO are, they are the Territory Insurance Office. And joining me from the office, the Territory Insurance Office, is Neil Weeks. Neil, good to see you at Darwin.
Thank you.
Well, how long has the TIO been involved with the Darwin Turf Club? I know they're pretty proud of your sponsorship.
Well, this is the 11th year of our sponsorship. It's been very successful, gives good exposure. Helps with the 1.7 million that we deliver into the territory for various road safety programs and sporting events throughout the year.
Tell us a little bit about the Territory Insurance Office. I mean, who's at the top of the tree in this company? Is it owned by one of the big insurance giants in Australia, or is it a locally owned company?
No, it's an independent company owned by the government and the Territorians, and it proved to be very beneficial with the floods in Katherine recently, where we were able to provide about $50 million worth of cover for house owners who are flooded in the territory, and it proves the benefit of having an independent, locally owned insurance and finance institution.
So what sort of insurance are we talking? Home, car, property insurance, all of those people you look after?
We do all classes of insurance, home, motor, commercial, and we also have a lending operation and deposits from the public.
Just out of interest, Neil, do insurance companies and the TIO, for example, insure against cyclones? I mean, the cyclone of 74 almost wiped this place out completely. Do you insure against cyclones, or that's not part of the policy?
No, we insure against cyclones. We're the only company in the territory that actually insures for storm surge. But yes, we provide cyclone cover. Whilst we weren't in operation in 1974, we have grown out of that.
Well, we're certainly not wishing another one upon them, but obviously, with it having happened before, there would be people that would be, you know, thinking about that sort of investment. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming over and having a chat.
Thank you.
That is Neil Weeks from the Territory Insurance Office. The TIO, who sponsored race 1, and race 2 is coming up here at Darwin pretty soon. We should see the runners in the mounting yard in a moment. Let's head to the Sunshine Coast. Here's David Fowler.
Good on you, Matthew. Running a little behind the 8 ball here, Irish Truce.
And again, here's Matt.
Yes, we haven't got a lot of time for two reasons. They're about to move up at the trots, and Darren Gauchi's also got to mount up for the second race. Darren, good to see you at Darwin.
Thanks very much, mate.
It would be a silly question to say, is it your first trip? Darren's been here quite a few times. What number trip is this for you?
It's number 14.
14 trips to Darwin for the races?
Yeah, for the Cup. You know, this year I've only been able to come up for Cup Day, but generally I stay for the Saturday and Monday races.
You haven't been able to win it in those 14 years. How close have you come?
I've come second twice. Getting closer, and hopefully this year will be my year.
Well, Touch of Fantasy is the horse that might be able to do it for you. The only mare in the race, Darren. What do you know about Touch of Fantasy?
Well, she's certainly been racing in good form. From what I know, she's been finishing her races off quite well, and you know it's a fairly even cup. It's a good race today. There's a number of chances, and I think she's one of them though.
Do you like riding on this surface, this oil-based dirt track, Darren?
Well, it is different to ride on. I've rode on quite a few sand tracks now, and when I first started to come here to Darwin to ride, it was quite messy, the track, and it has improved a lot. The club's done a great job, and also, not only that, in promoting the carnival. It's a great carnival, it's great to be here, and it certainly is the place to be, Darwin Cup Day.
And I'm tipping you'll probably be back next year as well.
Well, I might be, yeah.
Darren, just before you go, you're about to mount up on Blushing Night. What can you tell us about him?
I don't know a great deal. He's had 23 starts. He hasn't won a race yet. His last start probably was his best run. He ran third, but he did get beaten a fair way. I just hope he can improve, and he's by Nassapur. Hopefully the extra distance will help him and run a good race.
Okay. And good luck for the upcoming season. You started it on a pretty good note on Saturday with Jugulator in the Bletchingley Stakes.
Yeah, he's quite a nice horse, and he's improving. He's going to go up to Group 1 company now, and that might set him out, but I think he's up to it.
Okay. Good to see you. Thanks for having a chat, and good luck with this one in the next race, Blushing Night. He looks all right.
Thanks, mate.
That is Darren Gauchi, a regular here at Darwin. He hasn't been as many times as John Russell, who's up to trip number 27, but still 14 trips to Darwin is not bad. Back to you, Hilton, until we have more from the Fanny Bay Racecourse.
All right, Matt, number 4, Oh So Handsome, received some very minor farrier attention. Stages at the Valley. Tight Embrace in Darwin at $1.90. Rhythm Royale, $19. Centenary Express at $7.90. $7.70 for Hilla Mays. Blushing Night at $5.50. And then it's $26 Canoundra. Carol Love at $9.10. Noble Sunset at $90. Crowd building all the time at Darwin. And a bit of cloud cover certainly keeping the temperature down somewhat. All right, Trots players, if you missed the Valley, here it is.
Dominating, is jogging behind them but can't get out.
Just about set. Here's Mick Stumbles with race 2.
Tight Embrace in 3, Hella Mays 1, Centenary Express. They're off and racing, and Hella Mays got away very nicely. So did Carol Love. Tight Embrace just a touch slow to get going. And Paul Denton has darted over on the rails behind the speed as they go past the judge the first time. Hella Mays has run to the front. And he carts them along out of the straight for the first occasion from Centenary Express by a length, and Tight Embrace darting through along the inside to be third the rails. A length away, Noble Sunset the outside, Canoundra further out on the track, racing a little bit deep, 2 or 3 lengths, Blushing Night, Rhythm Royale the centre, and Carol Love out 3 deep is last of all. About 1,400 to go, Hella Mays sets the speed. Not a lot of speed in the race though, to be honest. Leads by a length, Centenary Express the outside, poking through along the rails in third spot. It was Tight Embrace. He's got a lovely posse. Moving up on his outside was Noble Sunset, 3 or 4 lengths. Came Blushing Night a half length, Canoundra the outside. About 2 lengths away to Carol Love, and about 8 lengths to Rhythm Royale, who is last of all. 1,000 to run. No change in the order. Hella Mays holds down Pride of Place by a length and 3/4 Centenary Express. Half length, Tight Embrace, the run of the race, the rails. Noble Sunset getting around the outside of him. Carol Love working into it a length and a half further back. Then Blushing Night, Canoundra and Rhythm Royale's about 20 lengths away. Down to the 600, Halamay's the leader still. A length and a half. Centenary Express given a cut with the whip. Tight Embrace also under the whip, back along the rails. About 2 lengths away, Noble Sunset. Blushing Night through along the inside, running home well from Carol Love, then Canoundra. And forget about Rhythm Royale, but Halamay snuck away, coming to the 400, led 2 lengths. Tight Embrace, Centenary Express. They're both under the whip, 3 lengths further back. Blushing Night, then Canoundra. Halamay's the leader, 250 to run. Tight Embraces looking for room between Halamay's and Centenary Express. There's nowhere to go. Now he switches to the rails, and here comes the favourite. Tight Embrace out after Halamay's, Centenary Express. Canoundra down the outside. Tight Embrace right up along the rails is coming at Centenary Express and Halamay's. They go to the line. Centenary Express has won by a half head, I'd say, over the favourite Tight Embrace, who was very unlucky. Third, Halamay's about a half length away. Then Canoundra, Noble Sunset, Carol Love, Blushing Night, and last of all was Rhythm Royale. Judge will want the photo, but Centenary Express will get the decision just over Tight Embrace, who was most unlucky. And at number 4, Halamay's, who ran a very cheeky race between the pair of them in third place, probably about a half length further back. They've recorded 157.66 for the 1900 metres, 157.66, which is a fair way outside Instant Policy's record of 156. 157.66. We wait for the official numbers to go in the frame, and there it is now, number 3, Centenary Express. You see them coming down towards the post. Centenary Express, the outside of Tight Embrace, between them Halamay. Centenary Express, Tight Embrace, hit the line with Centenary Express getting the judges' pat over Tight Embrace and Halamay's. Number 3, Centenary Express, successful in race number 2, is a 5-year-old bay mare by Centenary out of Newsline, owned by D.A. Gerbert, J.P. Little, D. Atkinson and J. Sanders, trained by John Little in Darwin and ridden by Gary Clark. Number 1 is second, Tight Embrace, ridden by Paul Denton, and 4 is third, Halamay's, ridden by Lee Childs.
Gary Clark, not the A.G. Clark from, of course, south of and the